Hi everyone, my name's Lisa Randall. Thanks for joining me. I wanted to spend a few minutes talking to you today about how to care for your skin at home at this time when you don't have access to your regular salons for facials. Nothing, to be honest, nothing can really replace going into salon having a facial. That's because we have equipment at our disposal. We tend to have more active product. We can have a really good look at the skin, diagnose and determine what you need for that particular visit. But 80% of your results and your ongoing care really do come from home, what you do at home. So it is important to have a really well-made, active, clean product that you can use, or a range of products that you can use at home. Now, at this time when the salons are shut, there are some additional measures you can be taking that will kind of up the ante a little bit for you, that will really help you deal with some of the more difficult issues that you would normally come and see us for. So today I thought I'd just spend about 10 minutes going through an at-home facial routine, and this one in particular I'll be focusing on working on something like blackheads and more open looking pores. We have other protocols that we would present to you for things like anti-aging or rosacea, redness, acne of course, oily problematic skin, that kind of thing. So I'll do a series of these, but today is really about us just working on this one particular issue. The reason for this is we're getting more and more people starting to contact us asking for at-home products, advice, and tools that they can be using. So the principles of at-home facial remain relatively the same, which is you'll have certain steps, but the products themselves and perhaps the home tools that you can use would change. So let's start with the obvious, which is cleansing. Okay, I've just dropped a little bit of cleanser in there, of a foaming cleanser. I'm not going to do any particular product sort of detailed descriptions. I'll do that later again on different ranges that we do have. Some of them I will mention because they're just some of my favorites, but we do carry quite a few ranges of different types of product here, so it's very much dependent on what suits you. So with your cleansing, you don't need obviously a lot of cleanser. So with this particular foam cleanser, I've got enough for 2 cleansers in here. This is a gel foam that I personally really love, and I keep this in the shower. It's nice and easy to use that way. So once you've put a dot, just a small dot, and mix it in with some water, which I'll just grab behind me, you'll see that it will it'll foam up. I don't know how well you can see it on the video, but that's plenty on my hands now to cleanse my face. So we always say double cleanse because, you know, it takes more than one go to get everything off, especially if you're wearing makeup. You can obviously use a makeup remover as well, which we can provide for you too if you need. But in this case, with this home facial routine, we'll say double cleanse, nice deep circular motions. The next step after you wipe that off with clean water, and let me just mention too here that I would recommend that you use a Salon type of fibrella or facial wipe to do these treatments. We usually cut these in half. They're a really nice, thick, soft, sort of almost like a napkin. You may or may not be able to get these somewhere, but if you can't, and you do buy a facial kit from us, we can provide you a couple of those to keep you going. Please don't use baby wipes and that sort of thing from the grocery store, or even facial wipes. Most of the facial wipes you'll find they have some sort of fragrance or some other ingredient in there that is irritating to the skin, and they're not really always made from the best material. So I would suggest getting these if you can. A place like Glamico might have a box of them, or like I said, if you buy a kit from us, we're happy to provide you a couple of those. So after you cleanse, a lot of people like to tone. Now toner I love toners and spritzers and things just because they really, especially in the climate here in Queensland, to spray myself there. This one's got lemongrass. This is a bespoke one that we've got. So, you know, they're just a nice way to just sort of liven up the skin, refresh it, that sort of thing. So anytime through your facial at-home procedure, you can take once or twice, take time out to apply toner. You can also undo the caps of these, apply them on cotton pads, and wipe further down if you feel like you need that step. The next bit is, again, concentrating on, this is removal of blackheads and a really good deep clean of the skin. I'm going to be using a scrub. Now with my scrubs, this is assuming that we're not doing a peel as well, which we're not at home, because that's the sort of thing you'll be getting in Salon. But we would be steaming. Okay, so this is just a little portable steamer that I had somewhere tucked away. We normally use big professional size ones in the Salon. Steam is great for hydrating the skin, opening the channels a bit more, just prepping your skin for other sort of product penetration. But it's also, I really love doing steam with the scrub application because it just really loosens up some of those what we call gags, which are like the glue that holds the skin cells together. So if you don't have a little steamer, then honestly just a good old-fashioned, like your mother did, hot boiling water with the towel over your head this way. So before you do that, just apply your scrub. This here is enough scrub really to apply for your whole face, even maybe a little bit into the décolletage. You don't need a lot of scrub. Just remember, it can be a little bit of a pain to get off. So, you know, just go sparingly with the scrub. And again, if you're using a pot of any sort of pot of product, I do like to use the little sticks to scoop product out so you're not sticking, especially right now with the COVID virus around. You don't want to be having your hands dipping into a pot of anything and then re-dipping. So again, if you order a facial kit of products to do facials at home, we'll provide you with a couple of the sticks. So you get your scrub on there, you just leave it on, and then you get it under some steam for a few minutes, and that's really going to help sort of start to loosen up some of that stuff that's happening on the top of the epidermis there. The next step is one where you can use a home tool, including an ultrasonic skin scrubber. Now this is one we use in clinic. They're very simple. They feel quite fantastic when you're using them. So after you come out of your steam, you can just use your skin scrubber around to really get in, especially if you've got those blackheads on the nose, really use it there to get into those creases. These are really gentle, they feel great. We do retail the Awe brand of ultrasonic scrubber here, so they're really affordable, and I would highly recommend having one. They're waterproof as well, so you can have them in the shower. So after you've given yourself a good scrub under steam, or after you've come out of the steam, you can then wipe down again with your nice clean Fibrella or beauty wipe and get ready for your serum application. So in this case, I'll show you how much serum I'll be using. This is one from the Awe range, which is one of our primary ranges here. And this is a vitamin B infusion. So it's a dropper, which is great, again, for hygiene, as well as how much product you need to actually get out. So this one, oh, let's see, it might be empty, this one. There we go. Yeah, so I'll have to, it's literally down to the end. So I'm just going to do a little bit onto my palm there, and you can see, hopefully in the video there, that this is the dead end of this, but it's honestly just a very small amount, and then I would go ahead and apply that, just pressing it into the skin. Okay, this is where you can use, there's a couple of different tools you can use here to help with the penetration of that. Usually something that involves massage. So we've got a Kanza wand, although this one tends to work a little better with more of an oily type of serum. So this vitamin B is a little bit oily, but you may find that before you can massage, you need to apply an oil as well, which I'll show you in a second. So Kanza wands are great. They've got 3 different metals in them, which are all have their own sort of properties that are great for the skin: copper, zinc, that sort of thing. So the idea with the Kanza wand, again, is to massage, and if you massage enough, you'll find that you'll get an actual little gray tinge to the skin, and that's completely normal. It will settle down once you finish using the wand. The other great thing about using massage wands is that, of any sort, and I'll show you another one in a second, is that they increase circulation and blood flow to the skin, which is, you know, basically whenever we're treating you with more high-end machines and things like that, we're often, the end point is that we're trying to create more circulation and stimulation in the skin, just at different levels of the skin and different sort of frequencies and things like that. So you can never go wrong with a lot of self-massage of your skin on your face, but it's not always something you want to just sit there and, you know, do yourself in front of the TV. So having a tool like this is quite nice because it feels good. You can easily just be sitting there just doing this sort of thing. So Kanza one is one home option, and we can get those in for you. I've just sold out of those. Another option, and I do have quite a few of these, is your jade and rose quartz rollers. So these are amazing. They feel so nice to use. The rose quartz is particularly good for calming reddened skin down, just cooling, calming the skin. And the jade, because it does stay cool, sorry, the rose quartz does stay cool, and you can of course keep that in the refrigerator for even more boost there. The jade is more of a heat conductor, so it's great for anti-aging and that sort of thing. You can use them both. We'll just you know, assess your skin, see how it's looking, how it's feeling. But either of these with self-massage, and the smaller end for the eyes and that sort of thing is just phenomenal. And these are just interchangeable, which is why I got this particular brand in, because it's just so easy to have one handle and different ends. So that's another option for you. So the other thing you can do here is go ahead and try a home needling device. I haven't unpackaged this one. This is another from our primary cosmeceutical range, Awe. And home rollers are great for all sorts of different issues. They have little tiny little spiky bits on them that you can roll the skin with, and it can sound a little bit hairy, but they're really very comfortable. They don't hurt or anything like that, and it's not something that you do every day. So again, it's a good one to incorporate into your weekly facial. So this can happen if you've applied some serum like a bee. You can use your roller directly after that to help with penetration of that, but that's probably more when we start talking about things like anti-aging and some of the other issues. So again, with our blackhead sort of open pore issue, the rollers are quite good for inducing collagen production as well, so you could use it for that as well, focusing maybe a little bit around the nose. So after we've cleansed, we've scrubbed under a little bit of steam, and we've applied a bit of serum, then you can use a home tool to, if you like at that point, to massage just a little, because we will come back to more massage in a minute. And then after that, we're going to apply a mask. Okay, so my personal opinion is that our masks always come before our oils at the end. That's because, in my opinion, water sits under oil. If we apply oil and then try to put something water-based over that, it's not going to be as effective. So most masks are water-based. So in this case, I'll be using a pink clay salicylic mask for somebody with the blackhead problem. Again, this is probably all you need to cover your face. So that's not a lot. I'll show you how far it goes if I put a little on my hand here. And again, if you buy a kit, you'll get a facial brush with this of some sort. I'll use one over here, and you can see that just that little bit, I haven't even used probably a third of what I had on that stick, has already covered my whole hand there. Okay, so you can leave that mask on to dry, but just be careful with the clay mask. You don't want it to dry out completely, because you'll start to get that cracked look, and that actually starts to dry out moisture from the skin. So if it's starting to dry out a little bit too much and you want to leave it on a bit longer, then yep, you can bring out your trusty toner and just give it a spritz. Okay, so after your mask has set, and again, depending on what we've prescribed you for the mask section, it might be clay, it might be alginate based. So there's a lot of different types of masks out there depending on what we're trying to achieve. So once it's ready, in this case, this mask will be wiped off with a wet fibrella. Okay, and again, just take your time, make sure this has been washed out a little. And you'll find that you'll have little bits sort of in and around the creases of the nose, and we often accidentally send people out of the salon here with little bits of, you know, mask still showing on their face, because it can be quite tenacious and stick to the skin. So just really wipe that out. And then your last step before you finish your facial, so now sorry, with the mask you've probably had that on at least 10 minutes or so. You can leave it on up to 15-20. Again, if it's one that's not drying out, you'll be able to keep it on much longer. The last step, which is the most enjoyable to me, is the massage, and this is, you know, probably the most enjoyable for when people come into the salon and have a facial. So again, we don't need a lot. This is again from the R range. It's a beautiful multi-oil with raspberry and hemp seed in it. I've got just, I don't know if you can see it on my hand, but just enough to cover my hands there. They're quite glistening now, and that will cover your whole face. Okay, so you take some time. I won't do it on myself now, but just remembering to really just massage in the direction of the muscles. So what makes sense, moving up the jawline, taking time to really move around the eyes, you know, just up into the forehead. So always in your upward strokes. If you, at some point I'll do a video on lymphatic drainage for the face. That's a really great technique for people who have inflammation, acne problems, that sort of stuff. But for your general massage, just take your time and enjoy it. It feels good. There's, you know, you can obviously, like we've always seen, the, you know, the flicking on the chin and the jawline. You try all that, experiment, and spend at least 5 minutes or so doing all that. And again, this is where your lovely massage tools can be used as well. So you can, if you haven't used them for the penetration of the serums, then do come back and definitely use them for the oil part of the massage, because it just feels amazing. And then when you're done with that, you might like to find a hot towel with a little bit of essential oils just sprinkled on it. It's very simple to do. Just wet a towel, pop it into the microwave for just a few seconds, or if you have got something like a slow cooker, you can try that. Just be very careful. Don't get it too hot, obviously. Don't burn yourself. And once you have that towel, you can just drape your face in it, or wipe your face down of the oil, the excess oil, just before you sort of finish with your last step, which will be your moisturizer and your sunscreen. So the moisturizer, because we finish with oil massage here, I find that I don't tend to need a lot of moisturizer to, you know, feel like the skin's hydrated. So again, I'm just going to pull out the tiniest bit here. And again, with your professional product, you don't need much, which is why you might spend a wee bit more than what you spend on your kind of rubbishy supermarket brands, but you'll find that you'll get a lot more use, longer term use and lasting products. So at the end of the day, you know, you should get 8 or 10 weeks out of what you're getting in your professional jars. So you know, just a little bit of moisturizer. Again, take the time to rub it in properly. Enjoy the process. It feels nice. And then at the end, after that's all absorbed, then you can pop on a sunscreen if you're going outside. Now, sunscreens, I'll just talk briefly about that. We have a variety of BB creams and sunscreens, and you know, different types of finishing products, even foundations that have a decent level of SPF. My opinion is that you should have a separate product for sunscreen specifically for your face. You should never put anything like a banana boat or any other chemist or pharmacy or grocery store type of sunscreen on your face. Okay, I don't even think they're great for having on your body. You really need to be looking at a natural zinc-based physical sunscreen. What we mean by that is that when the rays come in from the UV rays come in from the sun, the physical sunscreens work to stop them from penetrating into the epidermis. Chemical sunscreens are designed to allow penetration, but then to disperse those UV rays into very small molecules, which are then supposedly less harmful for you. So most of the chemical sunscreens out there are just too irritating for the face in general. I've seen lots of horror stories about people applying them to their babies and things like that as well. So go for your zinc-based sunscreens. As I said, we carry quite a few really good ones here that have a tint in them if you want to have a little bit of coverage. The only downside of that is you tend to have to apply them a little bit more, particularly if you're like me and you sweat all the time. Then yes, you might have to reapply often if you're outside. So that's basically your home care facial instructions. And again, I will show you some different well, I'll put together some different videos for you depending on what condition we're trying to treat. And I'll show you at some point some product ranges and options there. If you're kind of stuck now and you think, I'm at home, I don't even know what to do, you know, all I've got access to is grocery stores and pharmacies, and typically they're, you know, they do tend to be kind of a more mass marketed type of product. So you really want to try to avoid that. And for the price point, in most cases you can get something from us that's really reasonably priced. It's going to be properly diagnosed for your skin and be really well made, Australian made, no nasties and that sort of stuff. So please get in touch if you feel like you're struggling or all of a sudden your skin's gone nuts, and we really will try to help you. And yeah, stay tuned. I'll be posting more of these, as well as some videos on yoga, because that's my other passion, so keep an eye on the YouTube channel for that. And of course for massage and body work, so if you're suffering from any aches and pains and that kind of thing, we'll be talking about, I think we've done one already, so we'll do some more videos on how you can best kind of look after yourself in that regard, especially now because so many of us are sitting at home more. Different for me as well. I'm in front of the desk a lot more than I was used to, so you know, I'm starting to get some aches and pains in the shoulders and that kind of thing. So thanks for joining me. See you again soon. Bye.